You've saved up your whole life for your dream car. And you think you can drift. But in that moment you realize you can't. Take comfort in the fact that you're going out with style in your brand new DM69 Type-D. Introducing the brand new DM69. Go out with style. What's going on, guys? So before I start this video today, I want to just say a couple things. So first off, I recorded this video during a brief little window of time I had during finals week to get some recording done, and I wasn't, strictly speaking, at my best. I think about maybe 20% of my brain cells were still functioning, and of those, most of them were dedicated to try and, appear awake. Throughout the course of this video, I confidently make a lot of very bad decisions that I absolutely have no recollection of making, and don't realize them until much later on during the testing part. And last thing, I wasn't really planning on posting this video once I realized how many things had actually just not gone the way that I had wanted them to. But I put a little post up, and there was a lot of response saying, just show us anyway, so I guess here it is. I'm showing you anyway. Yeah, double intro. Now let's go to the actual intro of the video, and yeah, you're gonna get another warning about something different. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Automation. So today we're gonna make something that, well, I think it was requested in like season 1. So it's been quite a while, but I don't think that that's worn away. I still feel pretty confident that this is something that's at least vaguely wanted, and that is a really bad attempt at an ae86. So I'm definitely gonna go, I think, with this body type. I'm just trying to figure out which one in particular. I definitely need a two-door, but I feel like this is a little too hatchy, whereas this got that right kind of line there, but there's a little bit of a ledge. So first off, this car is going to be awful, and I don't mean it's gonna be a bad car. I mean that I really don't know what I'm doing when it comes to setting up a car for drifting. So expect to be very bothered by this video if you actually have a clue. I had the basic premise, but I just know that there's so many places where I could very easily go wrong, and I'm probably gonna go wrong in quite a few of them. So you have been warned. But who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work. I gotta keep that optimism. All right, so we're gonna go steel. I think I'm gonna go we'll go monocoque. All right, so we'll do steel. We'll do front transverse. Wait, longitudinal. Transverse. And this, my friends, is where everything starts to go wrong. Let's see. McPherson in the front, and then we'll do a trailing. Yeah, I think a trailing would do. All right, so we're gonna do an inline 4. I think we'll go cast iron. I'm not gonna turbo this or anything wacky, but I am probably gonna push for a bit more horsepower than a ae86, simply because nobody's really out there drifting a stock ae86. They're customizing it, shooting up the power a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of aim for a little more power out of the factory, and hopefully we can get something that's vaguely driftable. Okay, so we're gonna go for dual overhead cams. We'll make those all nice. More cast iron. Okay, we'll go cast iron and all this stuff. I like to do that just because it gives me a nice room for upgrade. I think injection is pretty obviously the way to go here, but I do think that will probably go with single point and put it in performance. And then I think I'm gonna try and get this thing to run on regular. I might need to go to premium, but we'll find out. Let's go for a tubular exhaust. We'll give it a 3-way. And then we'll do none, and then we'll baffle it out the rear. All right, let's get the knocking dealt with, and we're at about 90 horsepower. Fortunately, that's with 6,000 RPM, and we're probably shooting quite a bit past that. Yay, we're shooting up to like 6,500 RPM. Not really where I wanted to be. Okay, so let's get that to sports. Add in a little bit more compression. Okay, we're at 110. Pistons and the con rods aren't loving it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little nicer bit. We'll do heavy duty cast. Con rods don't like that. Why'd I do that? I meant forged. All right, so we're gonna do forged pistons and con rods. Hopefully that'll hold it together. The crank seems to be doing fine, so I'm not gonna worry about the crank. Fuel system. Okay, so this is where we have some potential to really get some more out of it. I'm not too concerned about fuel efficiency on this. I've done my bit with fuel efficiency. Okay, that's 118. I'm going down the slippery slope now of just increasing the cam profile. Okay, so 122 seems to be about where we're at, but we can open up the top. Okay, now the crank and the conrod are complaining a bit again, but this is not good. What about multi-point? That'll that get us? Not a whole lot more. Okay. Man, maybe I should turbo it. Maybe I should turbo it. Or maybe I should just give us a full 2-liter. That might also be a nice way to go. To 138. I was kind of open to pass 200. Doesn't seem to be happening at the moment. And we still have the exhaust to close up, which will probably give us 153. Let's see. I don't want to have that little dip right there, because it's going to be really important to have a lot of power down here. I guess that for this build, I should also probably get my manual gearbox figured out. I don't think it's going to go over very well if I try and drift an automatic. Maybe the arcade gearbox and beam will actually just do a great job. Nobody's buying that. 155, okay, I can work with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this good, hope the headers don't die, and let's see how it sounds. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, it sounds pretty good. Yeah, okay. So that's that. All right, so for the body, I think we'll go with this one, just because it's got a good blend here. Let's see if we can shorten this at all. I don't want to shorten it too much, but I want to get a really good look there. I do want to have a little bit of uniqueness to the design. I mean, not majorly, but just, you know, a little bit is good. just a little tiny bit. Let's see. I think that's pretty much everything I can morph, or at least it appears. Ooh, we can get that out a little bit. That might be better left back in. All right, so I'm gonna kind of vaguely mimic the design of the ae86, but I'm gonna kind of trying to stay away from really copying it. So I'm gonna put the grill in the same place and such like that, just because it's, you know, there's not really a whole lot of options for that. But I'm not just gonna like have a picture up that I'm just going off of. So it's gonna end up similar. Hopefully not identical. All right, so I want to get like those big chunky headlights. I didn't really want that to be a turn signal up there though. But I didn't want that to be a turn signal because I wanted to embed the turn signals into the bumper. All right, let's try putting another grill down here maybe. I don't know, just to give it more life, I guess. It's kind of looking pretty generic at the moment. Okay, instead I'm gonna go with the vent approach. What to do next? That's a very generic front. I wish it was a bit less generic. Let's put a badge on it. Maybe that'll give it some life. I can't imagine much though. And speaking of badges, we have more badges again. So not all these are quite done yet, but there are a lot more badges that we have for access now. And I really wish that the old cars were compatible in the newer build, because these just look so good. Like, I love it. But this is not a Bolko, so let's get out of here. This is a Kawaii. So there's the badge. That kind of works, I guess. It's supposed to be like a little diamond. I'm kind of intrigued by this, but at the same time, not so much. However, I am kind of interested in potentially blending this behind and getting that curved turn signal piece there. Somehow it just got really stupid really fast, and I say somehow, but geez, I know exactly why. It's my own damn fault. Well, it's definitely unique. I don't particularly like it, but it's definitely unique. So I think the taillight area and all this is gonna be pretty different from an ae86. I might actually just go with a plain one of these. Oh yeah, that's the look. Right there. License plate all the way back in there. Is it bad that I actually kind of think there's somewhat of a design aesthetic that could actually look cool like this? That's just so weird, but it's so unique. It's unique because there's no brand in their right mind that would do something like this for such a trade of trunk space. I should probably ditch it. I don't think anybody really shares my fascination with this. I'm not in absolute love with it, but I don't dislike it. I think that I would have done a very different job on the back if I was starting now, but it's been so long since I started this design that I just really don't want to start over. I think that this looks infinitely better. Well, yeah, so this has definitely been an interesting build. I think the furthest thing it has been from is efficient. After all that, I leave you with this. And I'm going to pass out if I stare at this car anymore. So we're moving on. Okay, so this thing's gonna be a manual 5-speed. Estimated top speed's 139. That looks good. I think we'll have a geared LSD. Radial. I'm tempted to go hard long life, just because I feel like they'll have a lot less traction, but I do need traction on the front, but alright, let's try that. Do a vented disc in the front, we'll go with a 2-piston and a drum in the rear. I'm gonna see if it complains about no power steering. I bet it will, but I'm also not gonna care. Let's get some camber in here. Well, we want it to oversteer down here further, and it doesn't seem to really want to do that at the moment. Let's get this offset all taken care of. Car terminally oversteers. I mean, that's kind of what I want. I just want it to do it a little more consistently down there. So we'll go with something like this. And frankly, I'm just gonna hope that this is kind of doing what I'm hoping that it's gonna be doing. Okay, so that's probably not gonna be the best driving experience, but I think, at least the way that I'm thinking here, is that wheel spin is gonna indicate a lot of power really early on when we switch to a gear. And we need to have a lot of power so we can actually control the drift, so hopefully we're not just overwhelmed. I'm not entirely sure how I'm reading this, but it doesn't feel correct. Anyway, so 154.8 horsepower, only 2,000 pounds, just about. And what did the market say? Okay, well, it costs 16,600 approximate cost to sell. And it seems decently appreciated across the board. Top speed of 140. Good enough. That's what I always say. Alright, so before we go into testing this car, I just want to say a few things. So firstly, I was very tired. Like, I've had to remind myself on a couple occasions what the car even was. And I remember it was supposed to be like a drift build, like an ae86 kind of thing. But what I also remember is that the design of it left a lot to be desired. And I'm going to go ahead and just attribute all of that to the fact that I was absolutely exhausted. And let's just make better stuff in the future, okay? Can we agree to that? I don't think anyone's going to say no. I don't think I brought my A game to that build. So I haven't spawned it yet, because I just wanted to say that before I put it in the game and actually reminded myself what it was. And, well, I guess now we may as well just plop it in and take a look. I remember the back, though. I remember the back being really bad, and then being a little less bad, but still being kind of bad. So, I guess we'll see now. Okay, it's slowly getting here. Slowly but surely. There we go. Okay, so it's not quite as bad as I remembered it being. It does kind of look like a Volkswagen on the front, though. The badge didn't seem to export, so that's nifty. That's something we can address later, though. Overall, I guess it just looks really uninspired, which I guess is fitting because I wasn't strictly speaking inspired when I made this. I just kind of wanted to sleep. But even so, maybe it'll be decent. Okay, the reverse lights work. That's something. So I should probably start driving it and stop talking about it. I just want to see if all the lights and everything are working. Okay, yeah, they all are. Okay, cool. Let's see. Why is my camera forcing to the left? Oh god, the game is not liking this car. Alright, it's got no assists on it or anything, so I don't have to turn anything off. It should just go. There's not a whole lot in here. I don't know. Why am I in here? I didn't really think this through. There wasn't a whole lot of foresight into the route planning here. Okay, I need to, hold on a sec. I need to figure something out real quick, because for some reason, my left stick, okay, now it's not doing, what the heck is going on? Like, okay, so right now, left stick, right and left, okay, and then left stick, or right stick left is looking left and right that way. But if I do left and then keep holding left on my left stick, I'm now only holding my left stick. And now I'm holding the right, now I can control the view with the right stick. Look, the wheel is going with the camera. Why is this happening? This is horrible. I have no idea how to fix that. It's not even bound to the camera. Okay, I need to actually kind of know where I'm going if I'm gonna keep doing this, because I'm just causing problems right now. You know what, perhaps I should get on the course. That could help. Okay, is this the course? I think this is the course. This is, I think Shikodu Island. Shikodu. I've kind of already forgotten. I know somebody's gonna ask in the comments, so let's just see what this thing's called. Yeah, Shikudo, or however you pronounce that, that's the map. I'm probably gonna need to actually drive this thing in manual and not arcade if I actually want to get some drifts out of here, although it seems to be kind of doing it. I mean, it could be better. It's kind of kind of a little hard to get the rear around. Let's see, this might be a little too much speed. Okay, once you get it going, it wants to straighten out too much.
Gee, I wonder why that could be.
Okay, that was not beautiful. Let's just pretend none of this has happened. It doesn't, like, find a nice balance when it's going around a corner. It just kind of doesn't. Also, I've just noticed a horrible tear in the rear window, and that's just really bothering me now. This video has just been an absolute mess. Okay, and now the camera's following the steering again. Okay, would you not? I really do think this thing will benefit from the use of a manual transmission, though. I guess I'll see about that. I'll leave the assistance on just because I'm not really well practiced in this game. Yeah. Okay, good. We're clutched in. There we go. I'm glad we had the assistance on because that would not have been healthy for this car. It's still kind of auto-shifting, though. I don't really know how to make that not happen.
You could try resetting the car. God, past me is so stupid.
Okay, well, who knows? Maybe just realistic on its own will help because it's not shifting. It's not letting me shift. We've just sheared that wheel straight off. Hey, at least the camera is not following the wheels anymore. I mean, things aren't happening that are wonderful at the moment, but at least that's not one of them. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give this thing a lap time. I think you guys got a good indicator of how this car comes together. I don't know why. It's got a weird seam right down the center. And anytime it gets into an accident, that seam, it just splits like an egg. Look, it's going on the back too. Ready? Look at that. Right down the center. It just splits. Anyway, let's see how it does around our track. Oh, I needed to start a new car. Of course, I knew that. Why didn't I think of that before? I'm so stupid. Of course, it doesn't switch the gearbox behavior if it's not... I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm an idiot.
Don't worry about it, past me. You're gonna feel much stupider in about 20 seconds.
I was wondering, like, why isn't it going? Because it finally clicked in the automatic. Wait, I have another question. Hold on. Wait. Did I make this front wheel... Holy shit. Do I just need to axe this whole video? Dear God, what have I done? It's front wheel... Oh! Holy shit, could I have done anything more blasphemous? And how did I not notice this before? It's front wheel drive. Oh my God, it's front wheel drive. I can't believe I've done this. Oh no, that's why it wasn't. Oh shit. So I gave it some thought and basically came to the conclusion that the only way to redeem this episode would be to bring in something else. Okay, that was supposed to be much more dramatic and a lot less impactful. Nonetheless, this is now the Type-D. So that's the original, and this is the Type-D. It has a bunch of problems worked out. So, basic difference is, this one's got a better exhaust. It puts out about 15 more horsepower. I think it looks better. I got rid of a lot of this plastic trim, replaced it with some just non-shiny metal. It has a bunch of D's all over it because it's Type-D. It's Type-D. The back is basically the same except for now it's got a bigger spoiler and it's got this little trim now that goes over the bumper. I think it just looks a lot better, like just ever so slightly. And then it's got this little air intake on the side here. It doesn't do much, but I just thought it kind of made the side look more interesting. And then also a little more flares on the fenders, but the biggest difference is that it's rear-wheel drive, so it actually fits the bill. I don't know how I ended up making such poor decisions last time, but as you can see, it is rear-wheel drive. Yeah, it should be better. It should be much more inclined to do what it is that it was intended to do. Oh yeah, it barely takes anything. Okay, yeah, okay, this is the real one. That's all it takes. Okay, I don't have the skill to drift this thing. And I'm not well practiced enough with shifting in Beam, and for some reason the controls are feeling very foreign. I think that I have them mapped to the way that they are in Forza, but it doesn't feel right. Like my muscle memory just feels off. Okay, in third, actually, it doesn't want to slide out. Okay, and then it goes and proves me wrong. Okay, I think I'm being way too aggressive with the throttle. Or maybe heavier. I don't know. I really don't. I'm really not well practiced with drifting. So this was actually kind of a terrible build for me to try. It's definitely driftable. I just don't have the magic touch to make it so. Jeez, drifting's hard. Okay. It's not easy. That being said, when this car goes up, I hope that some of you are able to actually get this thing out and drift it. I'd love to know that it's actually gotten its share of drift that it can deserve, because I know it's capable of it deep down. I know that in the right hands, it could drift with the best of them. Maybe. I don't know. The more I speak, the less confident I am in it. Anyway, so I'm thinking that this car is probably going to hit somewhere around the Palma or the AJ Turbo's time. So somewhere between a 132 and a 140. I'm pretty confident about this doing a good lap. I might not be able to drift it, but I feel pretty confident that I can lap it pretty well. Okay, no talking. Manual transmission. Let's try this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, if I just like take every corner in second, it has, I was gonna say it has much less of a tendency to spin out, but it just decided to prove me wrong there. Okay, if we do all this in fourth. Okay, no downshifting. Okay, now we downshift. Okay, just get through here. Okay, you're good, you're good, you're good. Okay, alright. Just accelerate in fourth for me, please, thank you. And then second. Okay, and stop. I know that this thing could do faster. But I don't have the patience to get it there. It's... So, how did the DM69 eventually do around the track? Well, it finished the lap with a 1 minute 44.47, nestling it just between the debris and the Bolko Club signature. Anyway, this episode's probably been nightmarishly long as it is, so I'm going to spare you a long outro. As always, the car is going to be available on the BeamNG repository, so if you're interested in trying to drift this thing or just checking it out in general, go ahead and check it out. Link will be in the description. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.